Absolutely. Okay, moving on to day 3 then in the pool at London. And we kick things off with a men's 1500 metres freestyle. And for me, the main headline of this is Dan Jervis's only shot at Paris qualification.
See, that surprised me.
Yeah, it's caught me as well.
I thought he would go for at least the 8 and the 15 to give himself 2 chances. Yes, I know the 800 is a tougher time to hit, but...
And it's not his favoured event.
No, he is better at the 15, granted. But I thought he'd swim both.
Yeah,
for some reason. So
did I.
He's doing the 15 for some reason. But that's only the 15, sorry.
And the nomination standard he's going to have to hit is a 14:54.29. So going sub 15 this time of year is fast, but when you see what Dan Whiffin's doing, and even Dan Jervis's PB, it's well within the possibility that he gets under this.
Yeah, well, I remember from Champs last year, he went about a 14:46, roughly there or thereabouts. So he's
always wanted that David Davis record, hasn't he?
He has. Maybe this is the time. Again, there's no finals. There's a heat declared winner, so he's going to have to go for it from the gun. Does he have competition? He's going to have
good competition.
He is.
I think he will. So Toby Robinson is already qualified through his open water exploits. Yes. Rightly so. Very good what him and Hector have done. Interestingly, Hector actually skips Champs. But Toby does aim for pool selection alongside open water selection. Why wouldn't you? He is like Fleur at altitude right now and coming back off altitude.
Yep.
So for a 5-second PB, not even a 5. So a 9-second PB from him, is it a long shot? I don't think so. But he will certainly give Dan Jervis competition. And so for me will Tyler Melbourne-Smith.
Well, Dan's very good at going out quite strongly from the get-go. So if Toby is able to follow him, stay on his hip
he's certainly
for the first half of the race,
10K, isn't he?
Then he will always have the fitness to come back. Yeah, but it's just trying to live with Dan's speed at the very beginning. But we alluded to earlier, or you did, about Tyler, and I think this is the event. This is his event as well. The nomination time is a little bit maybe out of reach, 30 seconds roughly.
He made massive drops earlier on in the year.
He did. And if he's going to hit a time, it's going to be this one, I feel. But
maybe it's a season too early with Andy Manley for him. He's only just joined this year. Maybe give him 2 or 3 more years with Andy and you see the potential really starting to come through.
Yeah, I suppose we keep talking about Dan Whiffen because he is the number one guy right now. But it's taken... How long has he been with Andy Manley now? It's been a couple of good number of years, right? And it's only now started to work or pay dividends, right? And I think it might be the same for Tyler. You might see a big PB. You might see 5-second PB or something like that, but it's not going to be quite enough to hit the nomination time and beat someone like Toby.
It's happened with Fleur as well, where she's been with him now for a little while and the times are still tumbling, still going down. So yeah, it's first season. I'd actually like him to try and go with Dan Jervis.
Yeah.
And give Dan a race. And I think Dan would appreciate that. I think, Tyler's training with Dan Whiffen every day in the pool. That's going to help.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the tactic that these guys should do. Try and stay on Dan's hips, on his feet, and just stay with him. Make him be aware that you are there. You're still in the race. Because a lot of the time, Dan at British Champs, he's away by a good number of meters, and he does his own race, he hits his own times, he hits his steady 59s like he normally does, and then a nice sprint finish, and then Bob's your uncle. But
simple,
then
Dan? That's how easy distance swimming is.
1500 is so easy.
That's not
but that's what Dan does. He makes it look easy, right?
Yeah.
It's just trying to get the other two to try and stay with him. I think that's the tactic. But of course, with a 1500, you've got to try and stay at your pace that you've been doing in training, and so. The fact that Toby and Tyler have been working together, maybe that will help Tyler in the long run.
Okay, moving on to the women's 400 meters individual medley, a nomination standard of 4:37.84, and 2 of the best female swimmers in the country will be going after it in Freya Colbert and Katie Shanahan. Yep. Now, Freya's already gone under that time when she won World Champs earlier on this year. I think she even went under it again at Edinburgh. I probably should check that, but I'm pretty sure she did. I think she went a 4:37 at the Edinburgh International. She looked really impressive there. Katie, when she's been racing this year, has looked like she's been in a giant training block. I've seen her race a lot. She has raced Bucks. She's raced at Edinburgh. She didn't go to Worlds like Freya. and you feel like they get taper right and she can challenge Freya again?
I think she can challenge Freya at any time, to be perfectly honest. These girls are top dogs in this country. In terms of female swimming, I think these girls are the two strongest ones. I put Abby and Anna in that sort of category as well for Anderson. But in terms of 400 IM, these girls are the top two. I mean, they're about 10 seconds faster than the rest of the girls. So it really is a classic head-to-head. And probably one of the better head-to-heads of the whole week.
Yeah, these two should be making an Olympic final as well.
I think so, yes. These girls are going to hit the nomination time. And if you hit the nomination time, like we've already said, that's usually good enough.
I would put that out there. It's not slow. So you get it wrong, then you might miss it. Because
I'm trying to remember what time was needed to get a medal at Worlds in Doha. I know there are some swimmers missing, Summer McIntosh being one of them.
There was loads of swimmers missing.
But
it was like a 4:40.
Yeah, but these girls are more than capable of doing that.
Yeah, but the nomination standard is 4:37. That you get your fly leg wrong and your backstroke leg wrong. You take it too hard. There is a chance.
Possibly. I don't think
to me it would be a shock. I've got
no concern that Freya and Casey hit this time and they're on the plane. I have no concern.
Okay, fine. Who wins out of the two of them?
Ooh.
I put you on the spot.
Freya. I'm going to go Freya.
Yeah, I'm going to go documentary bias and say Freya. Okay, moving on to the mixed classification, 50 meters butterfly in the men's. Two swimmers in this one, both S6 swimmers. To hit the time and go to the Paralympics, they are going to have to go a 31.7. Both of them, that is about a 3-4 second personal best. Yeah. Bruce D from Northampton and Xander Harris from Devonport. Not without the realms of possibility, but that's a big ask. And it might be, again, one of those events that has relay permutations more so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, to find 3 seconds on a 50-meter swim, that's if you put anyone in that position, that's a big ask, isn't it? It's going to take a bit of a big effort to be able to qualify for Paris in that. But again, I think relay permutations, let's use that word because you used it, may play a factor here. Yeah,
cool. Then the women's 50 meters freestyle. This, to me, is very interesting. The nomination standard is 24.65, which is fast.
Very quick. Yeah.
So Anna Hopkin, leading light of women's sprinting in this country for a while now. I fully expect her to hit that time. She is one of those swimmers who always turns up at these meets. She always looks fast. I always feel like her 50 is one of the best in the world.
She's looking in very good shape as well. She's looking strong. Very strong. So I agree. I think she's going to hit that time.
Behind her, there's a chance for some other swimmers to cause some upsets here.
All of them of young as well, and they've got a big future if they carry on enjoying the sport. Yeah.
Sky Carter, Eva Acaro, Theodora Taylor, then Isabella Hindley's not a younger name in the sport, but she's certainly a quality freestyler.
Yep.
For me, one of these young girls makes this team.
As in hits
Is
the time.
it in this event? I don't know. We'll talk about the 100 later. So Eva Acaro, leading into this meet, hit a new personal best in the 50 meters freestyle of a 25.18. She is moving. She's just moved actually over to Repton from Sevenoaks, joined Ash Morris there, and her and Sky Carter really are the next wave of female swimmers coming through, I feel like. And I just feel like either one of those could make a drop again. She's already dropped 0.2 this season off her PB. That is a big amount.
She's kind of similar to Kathleen Dawson, where she's coming off an injury, not as bad as Kathleen's, but she's coming off an Achilles injury, I think it was, right?
It's pretty bad.
I don't think she goes to time in this event, but the 100.
The 100's interesting because she has PB'd as well in that.
Yes.
A big amount.
And we've talked about Eva and Sky quite a bit on this podcast, the fact that they are the next two sprinters to come through. I suppose we've had Anna and we've had Bella Hindley for a number of years now as the top two sprinters in this country, 50-meter sprinters. But maybe Eva and Sky, it's their time to come through now.
Moving on to the para side of things, in the mixed classification 50 meters freestyle for the women, there's a lot of swimmers under this time again. So Alice Tai in the S8, if she doesn't qualify elsewhere, she can qualify in this. Claire Connon is under the time in the S4 by a second. I think the time she's got to hit is a 40.43. And Scarlett Humphrey is a name that you're probably going to be hearing a lot about at this meet. She is a visually impaired swimmer from Northampton. She is under by half a second as well, based on previous form. Like, we'd expect her to qualify. If it's not in this event, there's a lot more opportunities later on.
Yeah, I basically, they were the three names that stood out for me as well of the best chances of hitting that nomination time. Scarlett Humphrey is a name that seems to be in the spotlight quite a bit, actually.
Or at least we've taken a lot of notice.
Yeah, only because she's been performing really, really well. Like, the form is extremely good. It'd be good to get her on the team for the Paralympics, I think.
I agree. Men's 400 metres individual medley. A fast Olympic nomination standard in this one. A 4:11.09. Yes, not fast in compared to what Leon Marchand does. But that will still get you an Olympic final in my eyes. In fact, you swam that at Doha, you won a medal.
Yes, I know, exactly. It's a weird event, I think, the 400 IM.
Well, just ignore Leon.
If you take out Leon and maybe Carson Foster as well, that bronze medal is just way up for grabs. Like, it can go anywhere. And Max is certainly a name that could potentially win that bronze.
Yeah, let's talk about Max then, because it's really, really good to see him back in the British swimming scene. He's had a few years away, and it looks like he's not missed a trick. He is back down to the 4:10s, which is like really, really impressive, given he's not been racing around here for a while. I know he spent some time over in South Africa, over in Italy, racing there. So we've quietly followed the progress of what he's been doing over the last few years. It's good to see he's back to this pace. It's not a surprise. Like, he didn't drop off while he was away. He is going to make the British swimming team in this event, in my eyes.
I agree.
Can anyone go with him? It's a big drop. It's a big drop for others.
Max is so strong at all of the strokes. And that's the reason why he's one of the best 400 IM swimmers on the planet.
Makes sense.
I don't know if anyone's able to keep up with him.
Yeah, I know Charlie Hutchinson is literally his lane mate at Loughborough. Yeah. He's going to have to go a 6-second personal best, which is big.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot. That's a lot, no matter what you want. Okay, so we finish day 3 with the men's 100 meters freestyle, able body and para in this one. And able body side, this is one of the most fascinating events of the week, purely because this is a relay gold medal up for grabs. Mm-hmm. You have Matt Richards, British record holder. You have Lewis Barras, current British champion. Duncan Scott, Jacob Whittle, Tom Dean, Ed Mildred, Jack Macmillan, Joe Litchfield. Need I go on?
Yeah, Alex Cahoon. There's a number of names here.
Apparently, I do need to go on.
Yeah,
there's Jimmy Guy racing it as well.
Yeah, there's a number of names that could make this final, and a number of names that could miss out on the final as well. To be perfectly honest with you, the time they've got to go, what was it? 48.0?
06 to go individually, but obviously there's a lot of relay,
and then there's relay implications.
Well.
Yeah. Matt goes in as favourite for me. I think he has to, being British record holder. He's the one in form. I suppose if you're going to look through all these names here, it's Tom Dean that's the big question mark. I've got absolutely no idea where he is at.
It's a weird situation to be in, because last year we knew exactly where he was in, because he raced a lot in season and raced very fast. This season's been the complete opposite.
I'd love to know the thought process behind that. Why has he not raced? He's done a lot of media. I don't know if that's...
I'll let you speak to Dave McNulty and understand why, shall I?
Yeah, okay. I mean, or Tom, anyone. I just want to kind of understand why have you not raced?
We'll ask him at trials.
When normally, Edinburgh International is the...
Well, they were in Australia, weren't they?
Well, they were. Yeah. Well, yes, true. But Edinburgh International is usually the meet that you go to as a pre-champs to kind of see where you are. Whereas, like Duncan Scott, for example, we kind of know where he's at.
In a very good place.
Because he's raced, right? Yeah. Whereas, Tom Dean, I mean, we'll talk about that on the 200 as well, but we just have no idea where he's at. So that's the biggest question mark, I think. But Matt is looking very good. He's the one for me that's going to come out on top on this one.
This is the event where he's going to want to right the wrong for me, because he got this wrong last year at Champs. He was fastest seed by some way. I think he even broke the British record heading into the final, and then lost to Lewis Barras because Lewis surprised him with how fast he took it out. And things just didn't quite click in that final. This is the one is it it's not really a black mark against his 2023 at all, really. It's the one thing that kind of went wrong for him last year, and he's going to want to right that. I agree, and I wouldn't be surprised if he lowers the British record. Just another year with Ryan.
Yep.
We don't really know what shape he's in. We've not seen much of him since Worlds, but at Worlds he looked good.
He looked pretty good. Yeah, I think the wrong that he'll want to make right is going quicker through the rounds. Because if he went quicker through the rounds, last champs, then he would have won and got a British record again, etc., etc. So he will make that, I assume, first priority. If he does that, then he'll hit the nomination time anyway. So that's not really even a problem. It's just trying to get his hand on the wall first, which I think he'll do.
So we're both in agreement. Matt is our pick for this.
Yes. Yeah.
What goes on behind him?
Oh, that's where I don't know. I've got no idea. Luis Perez, he raced at Arena League. That was the last time I saw him race anyway. I think he only went like 49 or something like that. So he's got to find a second or so there. But he's a big-time swimmer. I think he always pulls it out of the bag.
At champs, yeah.
Yeah. And I love his tactic. Just bomb it from the start and then hold on. Love that tactic. And that's the reason why he gets the success that he does, I think. Duncan Scott, we kind of know where he's at. I think he's in a good spell. But I don't think the 100 is his focus. The 200 IM is maybe the 200 free. I don't know, both. Both of those events are his main focus. The 100 free is almost like a bonus, I think. But he'll want to be part of that relay team. So he'll want to finish in the top 4. I think that will be his aim. Jacob Whittle is an interesting one.
What do you think about Jacob with Dave McNulty now, isn't he?
Yeah.
What do I think of Jacob Whittle?
Yes, what do you think?
I'm intrigued because he's looked good in patches.
What interests me is that he's doing the 200 free as well.
And he's dropped the 50.
Yes, I thought Jacob Whittle would do the 50.
More so than the 200.
Did
I. Maybe he's the relay. Like, he just sees that.
It's probably relay. Yeah, it probably is.
But the 100 is his event. He can make the top 4 in this, for me.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
100%. Which means someone like Tom Dean's looking outside in.
But then you would take, I assume, British Swimming are going to take at least 5 swimmers here as one of the relay backups. And let's say Tom Dean is that person. Well, I assume he's going to qualify for the 200 IM, so he's going to go anyway.
This is where I'm thinking. The top 4 go, but the top 2 go. Individually, the top 2 really should make the nomination standard. Behind them, any of those top 5 are good enough for the relay final. And Duncan Scott and Tom Dean qualify elsewhere. So it's only really Jacob who is got to perform in this, if that makes sense. It's not that the other 2 have a free ticket, don't get me wrong. They can't swim 49s and expect to swim the relay.
Yeah.
But they will go elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I guess it's the same question as the women's 2 free. What does it take for a Jack McMillan, Ed Mildred, Joe Litchfield to go for them to be in consideration? I think you've got to go a 48 low.
Which is basically nomination time.
Yeah, anything below 48.5 should really get you into consideration time.
I'm very interested to see what Ed Mildred does, because he's one of those swimmers, a little bit like Lily Booker, where I'm kind of waiting for something to spark him into life.
I think it comes in the 100 fly.
It might do. You're absolutely right. And maybe this 100 free. I don't know. But he's been sort of there or thereabouts, and I'm just waiting for some sort of sparks to just happen. And he does some amazing swim. Hopefully it happens at trials, and then it's good enough to be on a relay. Who knows? We've
also got to speak. There is the likes of Alex Cahoon, who's had big drops this year. There's Jimmy Guy, who set a PB this year, who is going to want to be part of this relay team if he goes.
Yep.
I'm going to finish this with my bold prediction.
Okay.
Duncan Scott gets that second spot.
Oh.
And I think he swims it individually.
Ooh.
Depending on how the program plays out. But I genuinely, there is a fire in him right now that I've seen, and speed in him that I've seen.
Oh, I don't know if I agree.
He's looked more impressive than Luis Barras for me this season.
That's true. I agree with that. But does he finish second? Ooh. I'll tell you what, it's very exciting though, because I have no idea.
I just have this feeling.
I'm looking at all these names. I've got no idea. I'm quite confident like Matt is going to win. But then who finishes second? Yeah, I don't know.
I genuinely just have this feeling about Duncan this year.
I don't know.
I'm not going to get an answer out of you, are you?
No, I'm going to sit far too long in silence.
The issue is Jacob, Tom, we have no idea where they're at. And
No.
Lewis is this British champs. This is his, like people say, it's his cup final.
Yeah, it basically is, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to sit here in silence for far too long. I'll probably go to bed thinking, I don't know, who's going to win that race? No, I won't come up with an answer
Well, it's
either.
not win, it's come second, isn't it?
So, come second. Either way, I think it's going to be very exciting, and we should all definitely be tuning in to the last able-body race of this day.
Yeah, so talking about the para side then, in the mixed classification, 100 free for the men, Will Ellard is turning into a little bit of a star for the S14 freestylers.
He absolutely is.
Incredibly fast 100 freestyle. I think he can go a 51.7. So to put that into perspective, the world record, which is held by Britain's Rhys Dunn, is a 51.5. So there is a chance we end day 3 with a world record.
I think it's a very good chance.
Really good chance.
A very good chance, yeah. Now, there's no nomination time for the 100-metre freestyle for S14.
There's a relay, though, for the S14.
But definitely relay thing to consider, yes. God, could you imagine we have that massive race of the men's 100 freestyle for the able body, and then we finish with the para
I think it's
world
actually the
record
other way
going?
around. I think the finals, yes, heats-wise, it goes able, then para, then finals. So the finals layout is junior, B, para, A.
Actually, you're right. Looking at the start sheet, it literally says just below. Yeah, it's literally the way around, isn't it? So we'll have a world record, hopefully, on the Paris side, and then we'll have the mega race of the 100 free for the able body straight after. That's a good way to end that day, isn't it? Don't you think?
What a way it is then.
What a way. I think Stephen Clegg will also qualify in this event again. Just unbelievable what he can do.